Conversations with RJ. Sean, a particular question that I ask artists, whether they're gospel artists, secular artists, is that we have artists now, or I see artists now, that are suffering from mental illness. They have breakdowns. They're doing other things. They're going to clubs. They're going to drugs.
Sure.
So I just wanted to be crystal clear and transparent as far as what's going on in the industry, and why
Sure.
I think that happens. I mean, it's a situation that no one really wants to speak about, but being that I do have this platform, I want to speak into people that might be discouraged or might be depressed. You spoke about depression. You're doing well, but you're still depressed. Because there's other things that are going on in their lives that they probably have not addressed. And I want you to speak to that as well.
Sure. One thing about, and I don't have this all down, but just being around and being in the industry, for as long as I've been in it, one of the things, and I said that originally, I said, rather than focusing on reaching people, be the best that you can
Right.
be and allow the law of attraction to
Right.
come. So what happens when you reach outside of yourself?
Right.
You lose yourself.
Right.
And by the time you come to yourself,
Good.
you're in a place,
Right.
and the real self is somewhere way back many years ago.
Right.
And now you have either, you have the choice of, do I continue this facade?
Right.
Do I drop everything
Right.
because the lights are on me?
Right.
What's going to be the impact
Mm-hmm.
financially, socially?
Right.
And can I handle that if I decide to say, I'm going to hang it up?
Right.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
So you have all of these things running through the artist's mind,
Mm-hmm.
and whether they're gospel or secular or what, whether they're a minister or whether they're a motivational speaker, what an athlete, anybody in the entertainment,
Right.
it's all globally we recognize it as the entertainment business.
Right.
Okay, and so when you reach outside of yourself, you're going to lose yourself.
Right.
And so what happens is, and we get baited
Right.
very, very, very hard
Wow.
because of our gifts, our talents, and our abilities.
Mm-hmm.
We get baited outside of ourselves. Once you come outside of yourself, you lose your identity, you lose your soul, you lose your ethics,
Wow.
all of the above.
Right.
Your intelligence, because it's no longer yours. You came outside of yourself to gain a platform to express yourself.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Now, let me write for you.
Right.
Now, let me handle your business.
Right.
Now, and by the time you look up, they bait you with the big house, the big car, the lights, your name and life, all that, etc., so forth. And by the time you come to yourself, because it is guaranteed that all of us will come to ourselves.
Right.
Where are you? Are you with yourself? Did you lose yourself?
Right. That's a good question. Where are you? I want to ask a question also. When the music stops, I've gone to many conferences. I've been to a lot of conventions and stuff like that.
Okay.
And there's a lot of things going on.
Sure.
But when the music stops and you're by yourself, and you're offered to do things that is not necessarily your character, there's so many distractions out there.
Sure.
What keeps you focused? What keeps you on the up and up? What keeps your integrity? So it's who are you when the music stops, when the lights are not on you? What types of challenges that you go through when those things happen, when you're not on, when you're not in front of the camera, when you're not ministering to people? What are some of the things that you encounter?
Yeah. That's good. One of the things that, and I'm glad you brought this up. So I have two sons.
Right.
And I conceived them. Well, I didn't conceive them. Their mother did.
I was about to say. You can see. That's a miracle.
Yeah.
A miracle.
I don't want that. God bless all the mothers. You can have it. But I conceived them. Well, she conceived them. We had them through marriage, in our marriage.
Right.
Unfortunately, our marriage did not work out.
Right.
So that's a challenge
Right.
that I had to deal with in that regard.
Okay.
You know, but what kept me together was going through that.
Right.
I had 2 sons.
Right.
Whatever is going to happen, I've got to maintain my integrity and my character and my wherewithal for the sake of my 2 sons.
Right.
For the sake of somebody else.
Right.
What happens with us as entertainers or artists or ministers, however you want to kind of box that, categorize that,
Right.
we're doing things for other people.
Right.
But those are the people that are what I call the overflow.
Right.
They're not the people that are connected to.
Right. Gotcha.
And what you find yourself doing is raising and inspiring the people that's not connected to you.
Right.
And you're not raising and inspiring the people that are connected to you.
Right.
What you have to do is allow that to flow from the inside out. So what I begin to do is angle everything, okay, what I'm doing has to benefit my sons.
Right.
If and people connected to me. If I died today and they wanted to know what's on my social media pages, or they wanted to find out about me, when they look on my social media pages, when they listen to music, or when they listen not just my music, but when they find out those pages and those things, because now your life is on social media now, period. In that regard. So they can look you up all kinds of ways. But if they were to look me up, what would they see?
Wow. Wow.
What would they see? Beyond the music, what would they see?
Wow.
If my sons never seen anything else, if they didn't know I did what I did,
Right.
and they had to look me up, so I use my platform like a time capsule.
Right.
Although it's inspiring other people on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, I'm leaving a legacy for them. Because one day when I'm not able to do this, or I don't do it to the extent that I used to do it,
Right.
and they look back and say, "Hey, I want to show y'all my
My
dad."
dad. Right.
They're gonna find all kinds of things,
Right.
and they say, "Man, this was a really a thoughtful person. He was okay. I don't see him acting out. I don't see him. I didn't hear those things. I'm
Right.
sure everything wasn't hunky dory with him, but I don't see that."
Exactly.
And that was the legacy that my father left me.
Awesome.
When he passed away, there were many things that you find out in the early times of life and et cetera, so forth. But what I would say to people, I would say, but that's not the dad or the man that I knew.
Right.
And so I angled that same thing. And I think that if we all collectively think of these things like, man, this is just a time capsule. We just here for a little while.
Right.
But your works
Yeah.
will outlive you.
Exactly.
What you did will
Right.
outlive you.
Right.
That and the good stuff and the bad.
Awesome.
Do the best you can
Right.
to leave the best good that you can leave,
Right.
because that's what's going to speak for you.
I like that a lot. I mean, conversations with RJ, main purpose is to empower, to encourage, to enlighten, and that's is what I hope people glean from this when they watch this episode about gospel artists and what they do and how they affect our community, things like that. Also, a question I wanted to ask you before can you sing a little something for our audience here before
Absolutely.
we end this show?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what keeps you up?
That's a good question.
When you go to sleep, what keeps you? What burns in your spirit? Is it souls? Is it people? I mean, tell me what kind of bothers you at night.
What keeps me up or what keeps me going when things get rough, or when I don't see how everything is materializing. What keeps me going is, once again, my purpose.
Purpose.
And when you have a defined purpose, it drives you. And my purpose stems far past my ability.
Right.
So I'll be up, or I'm thinking at night, what can I do to be a better father?
Right.
My sons are 6 and 4.
Yeah.
They're young. So I'm thinking
Very impressionable.
that they're in the molding age.
Right.
And so how can I make sure I keep them a part of what I'm doing?
Right.
Because as a artist, the lights and the questions and everything's coming to you.
Right.
But like for example, on my Christmas album that we can talk about a little later,
Okay.
I have them on the CD.
Okay.
So everything I'm doing is I'm thinking about pulling them in.
Okay.
I allow them to come in the studio with me, and they have, it's in my home, so
Right.
they have access to watching this.
Awesome.
So they're taking part of this. They're with me when I'm in church, and you know what I'm saying. And so they're with me.
Okay.
You
So
know.
tell us about your Christmas album. It's coming out this year, or is it
Yes,
out already?
it's coming out this
And
year.
where can we find it?
Second week in December,
Second week in December.
and it's going to be available all digital outlet stores: iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon,
Okay.
you name it. We're gonna have it out there.
Okay. Do you have a website or?
Yes.
Okay.
Website is www.truescales
Okay.
SCALES.com. Also, my Facebook page is Sean Scales Music. In that regard, so Sean SEAN
Okay.
SCALES Music.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. And before we end the show, I would love for you to give us some type of acapella.
Sure.
So the audience will know what to expect on this Christmas
Okay.
album. Or
Absolutely.
you mind doing that for me?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. One of the things you were asking is about the song, because I'm a songwriter as well.
Right.
I've written for a lot of people and things of that nature. Lowell Pye, he used to
Okay.
sing with Minna Standard, John P. Key, features with all over the place.
Really?
Lisa McClendon.
Okay.
There's an artist, upcoming artist. She was nominated for Stellar Award last year. She'll probably get nominated for one this year. Her name is Monica Lisa Stevenson. I wrote a song for her. It's number 36 on the billboards this year, right now. In that regard, I did 2 years with Keith Wonderboy Johnson.
Yes.
Wrote for him, and in that regard, worked with Montreal Derrick, a commission.
Wow.
Keith Staten, a commission, and so
Great.
getting that start in the background
Right.
kind of prepared me for understanding copyright, understanding your royalties. I became a publisher and a writer at the age of 15.
Wow.
So I always had it before anything even was. There's a law of attraction.
Right.
If you're ready, it will come to you.
Wow.
And so I'm just fortunate to have that insight. My father kind of was like, do this, and I would study it and take it a step further.
Wow.
A friend of mine, when I was 18, Cummings, I was walking in because I did my first album at 18, and reel to reel, and went in those studios, reel to reel, but I felt like there was something getting ready to happen.
Right.
And I didn't know it, but we were on the cusp of going digital,
Right.
computers, et cetera, so forth. And so a brother by the name of Jerry Cummings was an instrument salesman at a music store. And I would just kind of look. He said, "You want a keyboard?" I said, "Nah, I'm looking for something, and I don't know what it is." He said, "All right, I'm gonna show you this." And what he began to show me was Pro Tools and Cubase, and so at the age of 18, I started to, learn how to mix and record.
Right.
So now, if you bring in the fact that I'm songwriting and presenting, I can present the material, I can make the material, I can give the engineers the information, so I'm
Right.
speaking their language already.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Going in best as prepared as I can
Mhm.
in that regard, and that law of attraction just kind of comes to
Awesome.
me. So but as you were saying, the type of style of what are you saying in your lyrics,
Right.
to give people hope earlier when we were talking.
Exactly.
And for the Christmas project, I took a old school approach.
Okay.
So I have a song that's got kids in it, but it's got the James Brown type of feel.
Okay.
I have one
Like
that
James Brown.
I have one that's got like the Temptation type of feel. One that has a Donny Hathaway type of feel.
Wow.
But it's all me, and I'm not taking from anybody or anything. But I just felt like the soul of Christmas music is kind of dwindling.
Right.
We're going for the acrobatics and the vocal acrobatics
Right.
and everything, and we're missing the contact, because people have one thing we have one thing that's in common among many other things. We're souls,
Right.
and the best type of music is soul music.
Amen.
And so that's why the title of this the CD is called A Soulful Christmas.
A Soulful Christmas.
A Soulful Christmas.
Okay.
And one of the songs is called This Holiday, and it goes kind of like this. If I had only one wish, I would wish that we all would be free. If I could write a Christmas story, this is the way I would want the story to be. I wish that we'd find love and peace and happiness. Oh, yeah. I wish that we find love. Ooh, a love that will never fade on this holiday.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Thank you,
Awesome.
sir.
This is an awesome album, man. You have been such a pleasure,
Thank you, sir.
such a refreshing conversation. Just so you can introduce yourself to my audience and also to encourage
Yes.
others that might be looking or viewing and want to know how to get into the industry. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
I thank God for Kamani that introduced me to you,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I wish you much success.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you coming, and thank you.
Thank you once again.
All right, thanks. All right.
Conversations with RJ. Conversations with RJ. Conversations with RJ.